You think you know the history of Tupac Shakur, right? Yeah, I know some things, but I don't know everything. If you want to know more, you got to pick up this book. The Untold Story of Tupac Shakur and Yaki Kadafi Fula. Spirit of an Outlaw. Yeah, this is a must-have if you're a Tupac fan. Let's get into some of this straight game.
Black chat. Life is like those cards. It's not what you dealt, but how you play it. Black chat. Play each situation correctly. I remember they used to laugh at a brother.
Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. It's your boy DELRAY Richardson, platinum artist, platinum songwriter, Straight Game TV. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button notification, as it helps push the content out to more potential subscribers, as well as the people who have subscribed already. Also, if you haven't subscribed yourself, please do me a favor and do so at this moment. And also, like I always say, if this is your first time watching Straight Game TV and you would like to be one of the first people notified when I drop some of this straight game, please do me a favor and hit that bell notification right below this video. I'm going to get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a book that I recently received that if you are a Tupac fan, a fan of his music, a fan of who he actually was, a fan of where he actually comes from, there's a book that I would recommend that each and every Tupac fan, if you have not gotten this book yet, that you get it, you read it, and also it will come, it usually comes, as it came to me, personally autographed by Yasmin Fula, the mother of Yaki Kadafi. Yes, and the book is titled, accordingly, appropriately, The Spirit of an Outlaw. And so you need to get this book. It is powerful. It has so much information in it. I can't even begin to say, you know, when we deal like you have information in regards to, there's certain chapters, right? It talks about the relationship between Yaki Kadafi and Tupac Shakur, and how they were basically joined at the hip since they were young. And so, you know, it's a great read, but the pictures are some of the most authentic pictures that I've seen of Tupac. You know, I've ever seen of Tupac, to be, you know, perfectly honest, other than the pictures that we see now or have come to know about based on his career once he was the Tupac Shakur superstar. But these pictures are right here are from his youth, and the innocence and all of the stories behind the pictures. Like I said, Yasmin Fula was Tupac's godmother. Like I said, a close family friend, and like I said, she was also a part of the struggle as a member of the Black Panthers. It has the information is so valuable that's in the book. The book is by her. It was actually forwarded by Quincy Jones. I believe that she's working on some kind of project in relation to the book. And like I said, I recommend that you get it. There's one chapter in particular in the book, if I will, and the chapter relates to Tupac's father. There's a lot of people who have talked about Tupac's biological father, Billy Garland, being deceased, if you will. Once again, this book will prove that notion to be not true and an outright lie. I don't know where on Google or whoever told people that, but there's a chapter in the book dedicated to Mr. Billy Garland himself. It's a very interesting read. There's also a chapter dealing with like slum lords, like the things that they were dealing with back in the day. Man, it's so much. It's just so much to to really digest as I sit here and tell you, you know what I mean? And so I'm gonna open it up, right? There's also a chapter on Sekou Oding, who was also another member of the Black Panthers, and who did an extensive amount of time in prison. Man, what else? Let me see. As I sit here with you, like I said, the pictures of Tupac as a child, his sister Setua, Afeni, being in court, you know, the whole 9 yards. These are unseen photos. Like I said, these are photos that Yasmin had, and we are so blessed to have her share this information with us. Like I said, once again, somebody who was there from day one, somebody who can give you the information about who Tupac Shakur actually was, what Tupac Shakur was actually about before we came to know him as Thug Life, as, you know, All Eyes on Me, as Machiavelli, as Me Against the World, and all of these other things. And so when you deal with that, like I said, I just recommend this book to each and every person who is a Tupac fan. Do not consider yourself a Tupac fan if you do not have this book. Like I said, there's another chapter called the Revolution of the Outlaw. You know what I mean? Basically, she has a chapter dealing with Digital Underground and that whole process. Like I said, this is someone who was Yasmin Fula, somebody who worked for Tupac's company, Euthanasia. I believe she was the president of Tupac's company, Euthanasia, and she was the one who knew all of the secrets, basically where the information was factual and true, and she always stayed in Tupac's ear. It was never about anything other than love, for her situation from Tupac. And like I said, with Tupac, and like I said, so when you go back to day one, you know what I mean, before Tupac was the Tupac that we had come to know, she was there. It also talks about Fatal and Felony. It also talks about the group, how the Outlaws were formed, how Yaki basically introduced all of the other outlaws to Tupac because they were from the same place in New Jersey, and so on and so forth. So like I said, also what else? Man, it's just, like I said, the pictures are just, and she has also a chapter in the book called Picture Me Rolling. You know what I mean? And she talks about how Tupac, talked about how, she loved cars and so on and so forth. As a matter of fact, there was one thing, and I'm just going to read just a little bit. And he said, absolutely right. Nobody here knows a damn thing about cars like you do. This is Tupac talking to Yasmin. He said, absolutely right. Nobody here knows a damn thing about cars like you do. He said, you were probably born in a car. In fact, I promise when you die, I will make sure that you are buried in a car. This is what Tupac told Yasmin, because she knew so much about Tupac's Hummer when he had bought it. Like I said, this book right here is a must-have. It's a must-have. I'm not promoting it because I got mine and so on and so forth. I'm promoting it because I love Tupac. Like I said, I was fortunate enough to consider him a friend, associate, and and like I said, this is one of those books, man, that you really need to have. Like I said, it's filled with pictures that have never before have been seen. Some of them people had put on the internet, but this book right here is a one of a kind. It's a one of a kind item. You just need it. If you consider yourself a Tupac fan once again and love his music and love what he stood for and what a revolutionary he was, a top soldier, I like to call him. And like I said, talks about Atlanta, and what Atlanta was like I said, has pictures and copies of letters, basically talks about the New York trial, the alleged assault or rape or whatever. Basically that the title or the chapter in the book is called The Setup, basically how they basically set Tupac up. like I told you once again, and it has a picture of Yasmin and Tupac actually coming out the courtroom, the day that he was doing like all of the spitting and stuff like that. He had on that jersey with the red bandana with the Flames jersey, I believe it was on. It was a hockey jersey, and Yasmin's right there beside him, through all of the trials and tribulations and everything that he went through in his life, like I said. But more importantly, what I want to say about this book, man, is that it focuses on the relationship of Tupac and Yaki Kadafi, and you can see by the pictures in the book that they loved each other and their relationship was real. So, like I said, you got to get this book. I'm going to put the link, you know what I mean? Like I said, I got it, the book, and she signed it for me and the whole 9 yards. And like I said, I appreciate her. I appreciate all that she's done. I appreciate the struggle, her being in the struggle, because if it wasn't for people like her, I don't think we would have it as easy as we do, though the struggle, aluta continua, though the struggle continues. You know what I mean? But like I said, yeah, you gotta get this book. Like, she has pictures of her and Tupac when she went to see him in prison that haven't never been released, that you haven't seen anywhere before. It's so many pictures. And basically there's another chapter in the book. It's called it's Death Row, and it's called Dark Forces. You definitely need to read that. You definitely need to read that part in the book. Like I said, so if you haven't heard about the book, you've heard it here. And I'm gonna tell you like this: I don't take lightly, recommending something, especially something to read that I feel like would definitely enhance your knowledge, as well as the information that you should have about Tupac. Once again, because there's a lot of misinformation that's been pushed out here in regards to him, right? But Yasmin Fula, Tupac's godmother, is one of those people who has the firsthand information. She is A1 from day one, other than his mother. And like I said, so yeah, man, the Death Row Dark Forces chapter of the book is definitely recommended. And then it has one of the final chapters. It has legacy and lessons. And like I said, the book is so informative, man, so informative. So like I said, I'm going to put the link down below, and you can go over to the website and you can get the book. And I believe each and every book, if you want it signed, she'll definitely sign it for you too. And that's something that every author does not do when they sign the book, or you buy a book from them, should I say. Usually you buy it at one of the bookstores or from Amazon or wherever else you might buy your books from. And also there's another book that she has, but this first book is the book, like I said, that you need. But there's another book that she has, and this book is based on the murder of her son, Yaki Kadafi. And here's the picture of the cover of that book. And you might want to buy that one too, because it goes into the whole story behind her son's murder. Like I said, and so when you deal with that, it's such a interesting read. And like I said, so when you get time, you need to go get this book immediately. And like I said, she will actually sign the book for you. So like I said, if you a Tupac fan and you got love for Tupac, right, and you love the people that love and represent Tupac, right, you're going to cop this book. Not just because of the support, but for the knowledge that it has in it, and the information that it has in it, and the pictures that it has in it. And like I said, your boy DELRAY, straight game.